Welcome, beautiful souls, beautiful beings. Welcome back to Crystalline Temple. Thank you for staying in tune with this frequency. You can probably guess we're going to be talking about what is love. There's some things that we are not taught. Love can be confusing, right? We hear a lot about love, but what is real love? Layered, it's not always soft, it's not always romantic, it's fierce, it's protective, it's boundary setting. Sometimes it shows up in anger, in heartbreak, in loss, and in the act of letting go. Love is not just an emotion, it's an essence. It unfolds in levels. Love as a need, right? So when you're a child and you crave approval or care from a family member or a guardian, or even as adults, seeking love from a partner to feel whole, that is love as a need. More so from a perspective of interconnectedness. Next is love as a reflection. The joy your dog has when you come home from a long day and they haven't seen you. The peace you feel watching the sunset. You realize that the love shines through them as a reflection, not just from them. So through, not from. So your dog, the sunset, is just merely a source of love itself, and it's not the dog itself. It is the love the dog has for you. It is the being of this dog. Next is love of yourself, love of self, self-love. I feel like this might be the most hardest thing for humans is self-love, because we are conditioned and programmed to believe that love is sacrificial of self. I truly feel like that is an honorable thing, but it is not all that there is. Love of self can be setting boundaries with people who are toxic, choosing peace over performance, saying no. These are all acts of love for self. We can even talk about things you do to take care of yourself. Your body, your mind, your soul, these are also love of self. Whether you decide, oh, I need therapy, this is a strong grief I have, burden weighing on me, and I am deciding because I love myself and I don't want to carry this weight anymore, that I'm going to get help, that I'm going to do what I need to do to release this and let go. Then there's love as a service, sharing your gifts with the world, whether it's art, healing, teaching, not because you are drained, but because your love overflows and you have so much to give. So we have love as a need, love as a reflection, love of self, self-love, and love as a service. Next, we're going to get into love and boundaries. These are going to be some lessons and also some teachings, because it's easy to be combobulated and be like, I love this person, but I also don't want to be around you. I love myself more. I don't know if I can hold space for this because it doesn't bring me peace. And we can start to feel guilty because we are putting ourselves first and distancing ourselves from something that is not serving us. Without boundaries, love gets messy. An example is a river without banks. So we're saying love is a river and the banks are the boundaries. River without banks just floods everything. There is no limit to the depth and the damage that can be had. It drowns homes, it kills crops. With strong banks, the river flows and is life-giving. Boundaries are those banks. They don't need to stop the water, they guide it. Boundaries are guides. So when you tell someone, I love you, but I can't let you treat me that way, you're not withholding your love, you're giving it structure. So boundaries are guides, boundaries give structure to love. Next is love versus attachment. Attachment clings, love releases. If you're holding on too tightly to anybody or anything, we use a butterfly as an example, you crush it. That's attachment. It's gripping and holding on from a state of fear. But if you let the butterfly land on your open palm, it may stay or it may just fly away. Love is allowing the freedom. Attachment says, I need you to stay. I need you to stay. While love says, honor you and I love you even if you go. So there's a sense of freedom with love, and with attachment, there's a sense of control. It is easy to get attached. We get used to something and then we like how it feels in our life. We like how it's going, like where it's going. And then when it comes time for you to let it go, you have such a hard time because you've created this attachment. Attachment is the root of all suffering. Next, we have the love and letting go. Letting go probably might be the most purest form of love, such as letting go of a pet that is suffering, even though you want them to stay with you forever. Letting go of a toxic partner or a toxic relative, not because you don't love them, but because staying in that relationship means betraying yourself. So the act of letting go for you is also freedom. Or even letting go of old versions of yourself so you can grow. This is also a form of letting go. And through letting go, you honor yourself and you allow the essence of love within you to not be caged, to not be restricted, but to be free and ever flowing. So you can express more, you can enjoy the blessings of life outside of feeling weighed down, stagnant, or stuck in a situation. Letting go says, I trust that love is bigger than this form, bigger than this moment. This is important because we often become attached to forms and moments and we think that's the best that there is. And I think it's just merely an illusion that our mind creates or our ego creates, that this is all I need, so I'm gonna stay here. Whilst love knows no bounds. If you refuse to let go, how can you ever know that there's something better waiting for you on the other side? Then there's love and creating space or creating distance. Space is love's breath. Creating space when you have an argument, instead of vomiting poison on the person you love, you create space to collect your thoughts, ground into your heart space so you can have more of a clear, compassionate sense of communication. Giving space in an argument instead of forcing a resolution, essentially. So that the relationship doesn't fall apart and there's respect and that it can heal and grow from whatever conflict there was to begin with. Another example is creating space from draining relatives, choosing peace over obligation. Another form is taking space for yourself in solitude, journaling, walking in nature, so you can return with a love rooted and not depleted. Space isn't emptiness, it's the ground where love expands. Next, love and forgiveness. This might also be one of the most challenging lessons for humans. Love is essence. Forgiveness is the tool that clears what blocks it. You experience these emotions. Say you experience anger. A friend betrays you. The anger shows your boundaries have been crossed. Hurt. Somebody has hurt you. You feel abandoned. You feel unseen. That's the wound beneath the anger. Then you have the grudge. Well, we hope that it doesn't fester this far, but it happens. Months later, years later, you're still replaying it in your head. You're still ruminating on the anger, the hurt, and now the grudge has manifested. The grudge is the weight that you carry. And then there's forgiveness. Normally the last step. It could be simply writing a letter of things that were unsaid. You don't get to live rent-free in my mind or in my heart anymore. It's not about excusing them or making excuses for their behavior, because your hurt, your anger is valid. Because anger is love's bodyguard. Your emotions are sharing with you where love has not shown up in a healthy way. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the actions that you have done to yourself and the actions that others have done to you. I say forgiveness has to be the hardest part, because it's like you already had the anger manifest into multiple forms, and now it is sitting somewhere in your body. You have to heal. You have to unravel this knot. And through this unraveling, you're gonna have to sit with each emotion. You have to come to peace that this happened to me, for me, but this is not all that there is, and you allow yourself to let go. Yet Yeshua says, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgiveness is release, not approval. And it took me a while to realize this, because there's lots of things that I will never approve being done to me. But it's me deciding to release it that sets me free. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It doesn't mean that you have to give this person another chance or create space for this other person. It means that you release it for you so you can end this cycle of suffering. Buddha says, holding on to anger is like holding on to a burning coal. You're the one who is burned, not the other person. And this is hard, because it's just like the intensity we feel from the things that have been done to us. It's our emotions that manifest into this certain form, and we hold this brick, we hold this weight, and we think that if the other person apologizes to me, I can let this weight go. If this other person takes accountability, I can let this go. But you cannot let it go unless you decide you want to let it go. They can take accountability or not. They can apologize or not. This emotion that has manifested, you still have to decide to let it go, because it's your creation. Anger is medicine. It shows you when balance is broken. Forgiveness restores the harmony, even if that means walking away. So remember, boundaries don't block love, they guide it. We often hear later on that you have to show people how to love you. You have to teach people how to love you. And this is to an extent, because if you don't have this within yourself, you can't expect it from other people, and vice versa. But also there has to be some common ground of, if you treat me like this, then you do not have access to me. It is not because I hate you. It's not because I'm punishing you. It's because I'm protecting myself through love. I'm protecting the love within me, so it does not become tainted, so it does not become impure love, imbalanced love. Attachment isn't love, it's fear. So if you feel like you have created this story in your mind that I can't let this person go, because if I let them go, my whole world will fall apart. This is not love, this is fear. Love is freedom, fear is control and attachment. Letting go is often the highest form of love for yourself and for others. Space is where love expands. Space is love's breath. If you can't breathe, if you feel like you're being suffocated, create space to love. Create space to be in compassion. Create space to be in grace. Just create space to breathe. Lastly, forgiveness doesn't erase hurt. It frees your soul from holding on to the hurt. Love is the essence. It is our true being. Forgiveness is the release, and both begin with you. They begin and they end with you. We can blame the external all we want. We can blame people outside of ourselves all we want. The power of love is through self-liberation. And in order to liberate yourself, you have to take accountability of your actions and how you feel. And if you don't, you just end up poisoning yourself. So these are just some lessons and messages that I want to share, that there is this type of order and structure to love. And these are some of the lessons that we learn. And it can be hard to navigate because we can feel like if I'm just super open and I'm super vulnerable, then I can just be my most loving, unconditional self. But even with that, that's not love either. So there is this sort of order and levels and interactions we have with love. And they are important to know because it's not something that you're taught, it's something that you just experience. So if you feel like there's anything else to add to this video that you've discovered about love, please leave a comment below. I am curious. And thank you for staying in tune with this frequency, this vibe, this message. Sending you guys all lots of love, peace, healing, and self-awareness. Take care.